I'll record this whole file, and then this will be up on that media site. That the instructions to access that are at the bottom of that invite letter that I sent you. It shows you exactly how to get on our media site. Today happens to be Two Voice Day, so we have live two voices. This is kind of an interesting case. We did some of this morning. I always like interesting if you have a choice. This is a testimony about a baby delivery gone bad, very badly. I need to get my pencil and pen. So we've got some medical words in here. I don't know how far we're going to get into this. It's not counted. So I'm going to be looking at your faces to see if we're torturing you or if it's okay. Because again, I just got out of 210, so I will try to slow down. I'm going to be the answer.
I will question.
Okay. So I'm going to start at the beginning. This is a doctor that's going to be testifying. You can start. This is your line. Thank you. Here we go.
Good morning. My name is Walter Rochin, and I'm one of the attorneys for plaintiff Rachel.
Just a minute, I'm going to stop for a minute. Carmen, you can just nod yes or no. Do you, have you hit Two Voice material before? Okay, good. Start over, please.
Good morning. My name is Walter Rochin, and I'm one of the attorneys for plaintiff Rachel.
Rochin?
Yes, W-R-O-T-E-N. And I'm one of the attorneys in the office of Dan Sullivan, who unfortunately couldn't make it today, and I'm subbing in for him. So hopefully this won't take very long. Could you state your name for the record, please?
James K. Ahern, MD.
And your present business address?
321 Columbia Drive, Lodi, California.
And zip code?
95240.
Have you ever had your deposition taken before?
Yes.
Approximately how many times?
Dozen.
More than 10?
Yeah, probably.
So I'm assuming that you're familiar with the rules of a deposition, and I can kind of dispense with those.
I hope so.
Okay. I'd like to quickly go over your academic background, starting from high school.
You want places and dates or what?
In general, yes.
I graduated from Mamaroneck High School in 1964. Mamaroneck. Mamaroneck, New York.
And from there, where did you get your BA?
West Lane University, Middletown, Connecticut, 1968.
That was in what?
Pre-med.
From there?
New York University Medical School.
And do you know approximately what year?
1973.
And
internship, San Joaquin General Hospital, 73, 74.
Okay.
Residency, St. Vincent's Hospital, Indianapolis, Indiana, 74, 75. U.S. Navy, Chelsea Naval Hospital, Chelsea, Massachusetts, 1975, 77.
Okay. And you were on the staff at San Joaquin General Hospital. Were you,
The answer is yes. You didn't give me dates, so.
well, I was going to get the dates from you. Let me say, a poorly worded question deserves a bad answer. So could you give me the dates that you were on the staff at San Joaquin General Hospital?
Yes, I started in August of, or September 1st, I believe it was, of 2009, and then retired May 1st, actually April 29th of 2001.
And after one, you're no longer practicing?
Correct.
Okay. And what was your position during this tenure? What would be your classification?
I think the classification was medical staff.
Could you just kind of describe the difference between house staff and attending staff?
The attending staff is comprised of physicians who are fully trained, usually board certified and at least board eligible, and who are hired or employed to act as supervisorial type physicians. The house staff are physicians who are acquiring specific time and a learning process there. They are acquiring, how do I want to say this? The necessary time to be eligible for board examination.
And on 11/8/09, you were classified as attending staff?
Yeah, that's why I hesitated when you asked your question, because on my little card here, it says medical staff. But most of the time, people refer to it as attending staff. So I think you're kind of using synonymous words here.
Did you review any records today for this deposition?
I reviewed yes.
Okay. When was the first time that you came in contact with Rachel Post, if you can remember?
Yeah, 4:30 in the afternoon of the day. She was in labor, whatever date that was.
Okay. And did you have a diagnosis at that time?
Yeah, I was given a diagnosis by Dr. Gill.
Okay. Do you remember what that diagnosis was?
Yeah, she was pregnant, near term, in active labor, second stage with no complications.
Now I have I think it's called Report of Operation, dated 11/8/09. And this is a 2-page document with, it looks like 2 signatures at the end. Are you familiar with this document?
Yes, well, I know about this document.
Okay,
I'm not sure I would call myself familiar.
okay. Is that your signature at the end?
Certainly, it is. It doesn't look like much, does it?
Other than your signature, what is your relationship to this document? And I'm referring to, did you have this drawn up, or did you somebody else dictated it and you just signed it, or?
The policy at San Joaquin General Hospital is for the resident physician, who in this case would be Dr. Aguiano, to draw up this type of document, and the attending staff or medical staff to peruse it and co-sign it.
Okay. And now, Do you remember signing this document, or are you?
No, we signed hundreds of them.
Are you directing him not to answer? Oh. You can answer it unless she's directing you not to answer.
Okay, would you reread the question, please? At what time?
Well, let's put it this way, at any time.
Well, I think 2 weeks later, we got a post-mortem exam report, yes.
Okay. Is that the first time you formed an opinion on the death of the infant?
I think by the strict rules of the word opinion, yes.
Okay. What was that opinion?
That it was pre-existing brain damage.
And that was the cause of death?
I think that's quite completely outlined in the PATH report.
Okay. Did your opinion ever change after that point as to cause of death?
After the report?
Yeah, after the initial report. Did your opinion change as to the cause of death?
No.
Do you know who was present in the operating room, or rather at the, I think if I remember correctly, the activity took place in her room and not in the operating room. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. Do you know who was present at the time you arrived?
Yeah, I think I do. The doctor standing at the perineum, actively involved in the delivery, was Jeffrey Gable. The doctor standing immediately behind Dr. Gable was Dr. Aguiano, Francisco Aguiano. And the other doctor in the room was the staff or attending, whatever word we're going to use, physician, Jasper Gill. There was a pediatric team there, which was headed by Dr. Bowerman. And I don't remember exactly how many people were on that team, but I vaguely remember at least 2, probably 3. Okay, we're gonna stop. That was a long time. That was 11 minutes. We don't usually go that long with you guys. But I felt like the speed was probably pretty comfortable. Yeah? Okay. What's a PATH report? You made reference to a PATH report? It's short for something. What do you think it's short for? Yeah, pathology report. Okay. Yeah, I know, we sometimes have to fudge it when I like to give material because it's good, but sometimes, you know, if it's a court case, there's obviously other people speaking, so that's where we flubbed up, was because of somebody else came in and was talking. Okay, this is a case, I think maybe we've done some of this, but this is counted, so this is good. And we're gonna read this in cheat sheets. Actually, we're probably gonna have to read this like in 30s. Does that really make sense? Yeah, that's gonna be like 100. Okay, this should be some dictation in just over 100, not much over. And then we'll start working our way up a little bit faster. Actually, I don't think I've done this with you guys, so we're going to start from the beginning. This is about some insurance fraud. That's what this is talking about. And I'll be the answer.
I will question. Mr. Ragsdale, for the record, Mr. Ragsdale, could you please state your name spelling your last name for the record?
Clint Ragsdale, Ragsdale. Clint with a K.
Mr. Ragsdale, do you have your own company?
Yes.
What's the company?
Material Damage Consulting, Inc.
And who do you work for?
Material Damage Consulting.
I'm sorry, you work for yourself. It's your own company, but what industry do you work for?
Insurance industry, automotive, specific automotive insurance.
All right. And are you hired by the insurance companies to go out and check claims?
Yes.
And to assess whether the claims are the value of the claim?
Yes.
And whether there is any fraud or not?
Yes.
And how long have you been in this industry?
My own company, just over 2 years. The insurance industry, 11 years, I believe. 11.
Okay. And if you combine auto body industry and the insurance industry, were you in the auto body industry before that?
Yes, I was in the auto body industry. I've been in automotive since I was 18. So 18 years before that, we always played with stuff. So more than that, but it's getting paid for it for 18 years.
Okay. And is it your job to report fraud to the insurance company?
Yes.
And what is the agency that governs the auto body industry?
Bureau of Automotive Repairs.
Also known as BAR?
Right.
And have you referred matters to BAR cases where you suspected fraud?
Yes.
Do you also review journals?
Yes.
Journals in the industry?
Yeah, like the Auto Body Journal.
Okay. And between insurance companies that you have personally, that you have contracts for, insurance companies that you have gone out and done estimates for, or insurance companies that you have even dealt with, even if not employed by them, how many different insurance agencies here in California have you worked with?
A lot. I couldn't tell you. I've worked for 3 specific insurance companies. I wrote estimates for approximately 5 insurance companies, but I've dealt with hundreds of insurance companies. But I guess I don't know how to explain this. When you work for an insurance company, you have to deal with another insurance company. So I might have to call another insurance company up and say, hey, this looks like it's not related. This looks like, and explain your position. So, I mean, in that way, I dealt with probably just about every insurance company in California.
And are you aware of some of the ways in which auto body shops commit fraud?
Yes.
Just briefly describe a couple, 2 or 3 that are common or prevalent.
I guess the most common items you find on fraud is the normal way to find fraud is the car is repaired. You come in and you audit the file or you audit the car. And what you find with the normal things you'll find is that a person didn't replace a panel or a part. They repaired it instead. They used an aftermarket part instead of an OEM market, or LKQ. An LKQ is used instead of an aftermarket part or an OEM part. Or they would like charge you for it, like 5 pieces of a bumper, all OEM, and then buy an assembly used, which, you know, can really financially, it's a huge difference usually. That's the normal stuff we get. OEM, original equipment manufacturer. Original equipment manufacturer. And an LKQ is like kind quality. Oh, insurance company. I hope you're using your brief. Yeah, SNURK, insurance company. It's a great one. By the way, Carmen, we are STEM Ed theory. So typically when and if I give out briefs, they're compatible with STEM Ed. How is this? It's hard? Nah. Piece of cake for them. Okay, you know what? I'm going to do some other material because I want to get a little bit faster, and I think it's kind of tricky to do that with this material. Plus, it's such long questions and answers. Get something with a little more shorter exchange going. So we are going to continue on with this. We did some of this the other day. We're going to repeat a little bit and finish up this segment. So let's start here. And we want to read this in plain numbers every 10 seconds. That's the ones that are not circled. One every 10 seconds. Okay, so this will be a little bit faster. This is going to be at 120.
For the record, ready? For the record, yes. From the looks of that diagram, as you've drawn it, from the first time you saw her until impact, her vehicle had traveled maybe 5 or 6 feet?
About that, yes.
And you traveled the 5 to 8 feet before impact. Is that right? That was the distance you said you were initially away when you first saw her.
Yes.
So the distance from the front of your car at D1 to the front of your car at D2 would be how far? A car length or less?
5 to 8 feet.
How far did your car move after impact?
A couple more feet. I don't know exactly.
2 to 4?
Probably another 5 feet.
You believe it was around 5 feet?
Yes.
Did the Garcia car move any after impact?
Yes. She went into the other lane and hit another car. But I think when she hit that other car, the back of her car hit the back of my car.
Okay. After impact, the Garcia car turned and hit another car?
Yes, she was trying to swerve. I guess she was trying to swerve for me to pass or something like that, but it was already too late. I hit her.
Where was this car that she turned around and hit?
It was coming the opposite way.
Why don't you draw in the vehicle and put an X in it where that vehicle was that the Garcia vehicle hit after impact with your vehicle?
The vehicle was over here when she hit her.
Why don't you draw and put an X in that?
Okay.
This is the vehicle that Garcia hit after you made contact with her?
After she hit them.
After you had contact with Garcia, the Garcia vehicle went out of control?
Yes, she lost control and hit the car probably around somewhere in here. You know, I didn't see that, but the car ended up over here.
Let's put X1 where it initially was when it was hit.
Right here.
And then this car continued on to where you have an X.
Right.
Now, you said something about your car getting hit again.
Yes, I don't know how her car did it, but the back part hit of my car. Her back part hit the back of my car.
Whose car hit the back of your car?
Her back part hit the back part of my car.
You're saying her. Who do you mean by that?
Garcia.
D2. After impact, you moved ahead about 5 feet. Okay, that's what you told me. So we used D2. Why don't you draw on D2 where you think your vehicle was hit after impact? You said she came around and hit you again?
Yes, my car was short and her car was long, but she hit me like the back of her car swung around and hit me.
That would be your back where? Was it at the corner of your car on the driver's side, or was it along the side?
No, it was on the driver's side, but it was all the way in the back, the very back.
Did it involve your bumper or not, or was it before you got to your bumper?
Yes, well, she hit the fender and the bumper.
Any other cars involved?
They had a car right here parked.
Why don't you draw that car and put a P in it for parked?
Okay.
Did anybody make contact with that vehicle?
The parked car?
Yes.
My car hit the parked car.
It hit the parked car?
Yes, well, it skimmed it, you know.
Let me clarify something. You said after impact, your car traveled about 5 feet?
Yes.
During this traveling of 5 feet, is that when you hit the parked car?
Well, that's where my car ended up. It was right next to the parked car.
Correct me if I'm wrong. After you made contact with the Garcia vehicle, your car went forward 5 feet, and during this 5 feet period, it hit the parked car?
It hit the parked car. Okay, we're going to stop there. We're going to slow down this next segment and read some back.
What 120 or
120.
130?
Maybe we could read it at 160 and then you'll change your mind. Okay. Yeah, it was 120. You know, don't get freaked out with this stuff. Sometimes this material, the material we use for dictation can be very dense. So even though it's you know, says that it's counted in 20-word segments, sometimes if it's high syllabic, there's a lot more syllables than normal within that timing segment. So it really depends upon the type of material.
The meter after 100, 2 voicing faster than the like straight ladder or during charge.
You think so?
Yeah. Or to me it does. Yeah. It's like 2 voices. Seems faster.
Okay, well here, we're gonna go back now and now we're going to do, this will be so slow you'll fall asleep every 15. So Carmen, we're gonna do read back. So make sure you put this on clean paper. This is gonna be slower than anything we've done thus far. So we're gonna repeat just a little bit so everybody has a chance to read back. So let's start here. So that's where I'm gonna set my watch. 15s.
For the record, did anybody make contact with that vehicle?
The parked car?
Yes.
My car hit the parked car.
It hit the parked car?
Yes. Well, it skimmed it, you know.
Let me clarify something. You said after impact, your car traveled about 5 feet?
Yes.
During this traveling of 5 feet, is that when you hit the parked car?
Well, that's where my car ended up it was right next to the parked car.
Correct me if I'm wrong. After you made contact with the Garcia vehicle, your car went forward 5 feet, and during this 5 feet period, it hit the parked car.
It hit the parked car.
During this 5 feet movement,
Yes, at the end of the 5 feet.
yes, that's what I'm saying. All right. What part of your car made contact with the Garcia vehicle the first time? It looks like your,
The first contact?
yes, was it the front
No. It was like the fender.
on your car?
Oh, my car?
Yes, on your car.
It was the back part. It wasn't the front part. It was all right here.
The left front portion on the driver's side?
Like the front fender and some of the hood.
What part of the Garcia car did your car make contact with?
What part of my car?
Yeah, with what part of the Garcia car?
Well, from what I seen, it was the front fender, between the front fender and the front door.
On the passenger's side?
Yes,
Did you have your seatbelt on at the time?
I don't quite remember.
Had you had anything to drink that day?
No,
Were you taking any medications or any drugs?
no. After I hit her, I was like dazed after I hit her. Really?
I don't think so.
I think I did.
Oh, okay. Not noticing it then.
Maybe I
It's
did.
very likely.
She left us, we scared her off. I wasn't gonna make you read.
She'll be
Okay. So we're gonna read this back, pull up your notes. And we also forgot where we started. Jennifer, you wanna start?
Question. Did anybody make contact
Wait, hold on, I gotta find where we are. Okay, here we are. Did anybody make contact?
with that vehicle? Answer, the parked car. Question, yes. Answer, my car hit the parked car. Question, hit the parked car.
It hit,
So it hit the parked car. Answer, yes. Well, it give it, question. Let me clarify something. You said after impact, your car traveled up 5 feet. Answer, yes. Question. Do you remember?
it's a word.
During this traveling?
Mm-hmm.
During this traveling 5 feet, is that where you hit?
When?
When you hit the parked car? Answer. Well, that's where my car ended up. It was right.
Next.
Right next to the parked car. Question. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm wrong with the Garcia vehicle.
Okay, correct me if I'm wrong. After you made contact with the
Garcia vehicle, the car went forward
forward,
5 feet, and during this 5 feet front
period.
period, it hit the parked car. Answer, it hit the parked car. Question, during this 5 feet movement. Answer, yes. At the end of the 5 feet.
Thank you. Araceli.
Question, yes, that's what I'm saying. All right, what part of your car made contact with the Garcia vehicle? The first time it looks like your answer. The first contact? Question, yes. Was it the front? Answer, no, it was like the fender. Question, on your car? Answer, oh, my car. Question, yes, on your car. Answer, it was the back part. It wasn't the front part. It was all right here. Question, the left front portion on the driver's side. Answer, like the front, like the, oh, like the front fender and some of the hood. Question, what part of the Garcia car did your car make contact with? Answer, what part of my car? Question, yeah, with what part of the car, of the Garcia car?
Good. Kate.
Answer, well, from what I've seen, it was the front fender between the front fender and the front door. Question, on the passenger side? Answer, yes. Question, did you have your seatbelt on at the time? Answer, I don't quite remember. Question, had you had anything to drink that day? Answer, no. Question, were you taking any medications or any drugs? Answer, no. After I hit her, I didn't. I was like dazed after I hit her.
That's okay. Okay, so I think what we're going to do now is I'm going to go back to what we were working on with some phrases, and we'll do that review because I kind of had told you guys we're going to keep trying to review that. So I want to do that. And that's that whole list that was, could you please state your name for the record? Have you ever, so on and so forth, that list. So let's do that reading. This also has some exchange in it, but we're just going to turn it into a to list. Okay, so I think if you just read both attorneys, it works out okay. So if it's awkward in a couple spots, it's because probably the attorney is really reading two attorneys. But we'll get practice on the words.
This is not time.
No, it's not. Okay. So it's just the admonitions, this messy sheet that I gave you, handout that I gave you. Here we go with the question.
Okay, could you please state your name for the record?
Anna Maria Garcia.
And have you had a chance to meet with your attorney before the deposition this afternoon?
Him?
I am Prester.
No.
Have you ever had your deposition taken before?
No.
Let me show you a document that's entitled Renotice of Taking Deposition with Production of Documents Required. Have you ever seen this document or one similar to it?
Yeah.
Okay. And did you bring any documents with you today in response to the deposition notice?
No.
Okay. Do you have any with you, Larry? I don't believe there are any other documents. You subpoenaed, I think, everything we had. No, I don't think there's anything other than the subpoenaed because there's no wage loss claim. So I think we're okay. If there's something that you don't have or you think you're missing, I'll be happy to check my files and get it for you if you want. If you would take a look at that later, and if there's photographs, repair estimates, or things along those lines that weren't produced, mail a copy to us. Okay, well, it's not our car, so we don't have the repair estimate, I'm sure. And I don't think we have photographs, but I'll take a look at that. I'm going to go over some of the ground rules before we get started. I'm sure these are things that your attorney probably already explained to you, but I want to make it clear on the record. You understand that you've been given an oath, and that's the same oath you would take in a court of law, requiring your truthful testimony and the same penalties for perjury. Is that a yes?
Yes.
It's important to answer all questions audibly with a yes or no, or I don't know. Try to remember to keep your answer in the form of spoken words rather than uh-huh or huh-uh answers or pointing or nods of the head, shrugs of the shoulders. All those types of responses are unclear, especially when we're making a written transcript here. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay. If you don't understand a question, let me know, and I'll rephrase it. If you don't hear a question, let me know, and I'll repeat it. If you answer a question, it's going to be assumed that you understood it, and your answer would be based on that understanding. Fair enough?
Yes.
If you want to take a break at any time, for any reason, you don't even need a reason. Just let me know and we'll take a break. If you want to talk to your attorney out in the hallway, you can do that as well. No one here wants you to guess. If you don't know the answer to a question, let me know. But I am entitled to your best estimate if you have one. Do you know the difference between a guess and an estimate?
Yeah. Yes.
Are there any reasons that you can't give your best testimony here today?
No.
Okay. You're feeling okay? You're not on any medication or anything like that?
No.
What's your date of birth?
February 27th, 1986.
Okay. Current age?
17. Well, in February. A couple of weeks.
Do you have any questions before we continue?
No.
Okay. One thing I should have mentioned is that the court reporter can only take down what one of us is saying at a time. So it's important that you let me finish my question before you start to answer, even if you know where I'm going. And I'll do the same for you. I'll let you finish your answer before I ask a question.
Okay. Do you understand? Did you guys get that out of this? Do you understand that? Actually, DUP, do you understand that? I didn't put it on the sheet, but it's on there. There's a lot of briefs within this material that I did not retype. I just kind of grabbed the ones that I thought were most common.
DUP.
Yeah, I can't guarantee you that goes along with STEM Ed. That's probably one of Ms. Baker's. But you know, it comes up a lot when the court is, in court or deposition, but in court when they're giving the defendant all of his rights. Do you understand that if you blah, 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 blah? Do you understand if you blah, 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 blah? Okay, too early to start checks. So now we're going to go back into a little bit. And I have a feeling that was good. It wasn't timed, but
Was that too fast?
it was clipping along. So now let's go back to this and let's do this since I thought it was so fast. Maybe this is different material. Same book that you thought was so fast, but different material. So maybe it'll sound a little bit different. We'll do 1 every 10. And again, the non-circled numbers. So this should be 120 again.
For the record, Mr. Rosenthal, are you prepared to resume your deposition today?
Yes.
Like we did in the last deposition, you'll need to answer with a verbal response, an audible oral response, either a yes or no. Shaking your head yes or shaking your head no, the court reporter can't pick that up today.
Okay.
Also, if you answer with uh-huh or huh-uh, then that's difficult to understand whether you're agreeing or disagreeing on written record. So that's why I'm asking you to say yes or no.
I agree.
And you understand that you've been placed under oath today. Is that right?
That's right.
And you understand that you're testifying in this case just like you would before a judge or jury. Is that right?
That's right.
Has your attorney explained to you the nature of the oath that you took to tell the truth today?
Yes.
And you swore to tell the truth. Is that right?
That's right.
And do you understand what happens to people that essentially do not tell the truth, that when they are under oath? You understand that not telling the truth at a deposition can be considered perjury. Is that right?
That's right.
And that's not a good thing to do. Is that right?
That's right.
And you're not going to do that, are you?
No.
If you don't understand my question, will you please just tell me and let me know? And maybe I can rephrase my question, because you can't answer a question unless you understand it.
Okay.
Unless you tell me that there is some question about my question, or there is some misunderstanding about my question, I will assume that you understood the question. Is that fair?
That's fair.
Now, you have brought a case under the Civil Rights Act of 1964. Do you understand that? Do you understand that you brought a case under the federal law for discrimination because of your race?
Yes.
Are you alleging in this case that you were terminated because you're Black?
Yes.
Now, are you seeking money damages for that termination?
Yes, I am.
Now, what money are you seeking?
I think I indicated that in our case filed with the court.
You referred me to some documents that you think you filed in the case. Is that right?
Yeah.
Now, can you tell us what deposition Exhibit 7 is? Can you just tell us, for the purpose of the record, what document we're talking about?
This is my suit, I believe, the supplemental responses to objections.
What date did you sign this document?
November the 18th, 1994.
When you signed it, was that under oath?
Yes.
Did you read it before you signed it?
Yes, I did.
Did you check to see if the information was correct?
Yes.
And it was correct as far as you knew at that time. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Now, there was some other information that you provided in or around the time of your deposition. And your deposition occurred on December the 19th, I believe it was, 1994. Another set of interrogatory responses.
Right.
Do you remember signing them?
Yes, I think I do.
Was that before or after your deposition that you signed it?
I can't remember if it was before or after.
But you do remember signing it before a notary?
Yes, I do.
Was that in Austin or was that in New Orleans?
I don't know if I signed that in front of a notary. I think I just signed it.
The second interrogatory responses?
Oh, you mean the second? That was signed by a notary, yes.
Now, we're talking about the one here was signed in November. Is that right?
Yes,
And you signed that in front of a notary, correct?
that is correct.
Now, there was another set of interrogatory responses that you signed
Yes,
after the one signed in November, correct?
correct.
And this was around your deposition, the time of your deposition. Is that right?
That is right.
Was that before your deposition or after your deposition you signed them?
I can't remember.
Do you know whether you signed the second set at all?
I did sign the second set.
By the second set, you're referring to the one you signed in December. Is that right?
That is correct.
Now, let me ask you this. The set of interrogatory responses that you signed in December, you remember signing them? You just don't remember whether you signed them before or after your deposition, correct?
Correct.
When you signed them, did you sign them in front of a notary, just like you did these? No, number 7.
Yes, I did.
Did you read them before you signed them?
Yes.
Did you make any changes on them at all?
No, I did not.
Were they correct?
Yes.
Did you understand that when you signed the interrogatory responses, Deposition Exhibit 7, before a notary, that you were giving testimony under oath?
I don't know if it was under oath. I knew that everything that I said in there, I believed to be true and signed under a notary.
And a notary is a person that gives an oath. Is that right?
Yes,
So when you signed them before a notary, you signed them under oath. Is that correct?
that's correct. Okay, some things in there. Interrogatories, have you ever heard of those? Has that come up in dictation before? Interrogatories are, as they said, they're taken under oath, but you're not typically sworn in. It's just that what they do is they ask questions of someone who's most likely to eventually be deposed, and they're trying to get facts from that person. So interrogatories are written questions sent out to someone prior to a deposition or prior to their testimony. Okay, and then the person has to take it before a notary, and they attest that the answers are truthful, and the notary signs it. So, as a reporter, you guys are taking testimony from people and certifying that it's true. So, do you think you have to be a notary?
Yes. No.
You used to have to be a notary. You don't any longer. So what they've done in legislature is, by virtue of your court reporter's license, it's that CSR license that gives you the ability to put people under oath and to certify that they are telling the truth, that the document is a true document of what was said, really is what you're certifying. Okay, so you no longer have to be a notary. It used to be really easy to become a notary. It's a little more involved now, so yeah. Okay, we're going to start takes. So I'm going to end this practice session.